Eren Yeager got some character development. Okay, so this was a very shocking chapter of Attack on Titan, just because what we've seen for the past couple chapters, Eren has been changing slightly, but to see in this, he's self-reflecting. Whoa. Whoa. Just, whoa. I didn't expect to see something like that. I really didn't. So, before I get into Eren, before I start talking about that, this is a chapter of Attack on Titan. I know majority of you are going to be asking me, so I'm just going to say it right now. The actual chapter is on Crunchyroll, on the manga section of Crunchyroll. You have to have, I'm guessing, a paid account, though, to read it on Crunchyroll, but I'm just letting you know. That's where I read this chapter of Attack on Titan. So, anyways, this chapter, it is a pretty solid chapter. Just straight up, I'm saying a solid chapter because the ending conclusion is hype as fuck. Seeing the self-reflecting of Eren Yeager and how he is developing, I've liked that. I really like that aspect, especially in this chapter. And then Historia is becoming more and more of a solid character that's really supporting the series a lot more in these recent arcs. And also to see how Rod Reese, his Titan, we finally get to see how tall it is. That scared the fuck out of me. Yo. So, getting into the first thing, let's talk about Eren. I want to talk about Eren first because that's where the main beef of the chapter I do want to discuss. So, Eren in this chapter of Attack on Titan, he gives up his pathetic self. He finally moves past his pathetic self, his wimpy, pathetic self that he was when the series first started. He has finally grown up, and he has changed for the better. And to see him self-reflecting with some flashbacks in this chapter, when you start seeing him think about what has happened with his mother, to what happened when the wall fell, I mean, so many different aspects that were so similar to how Attack on Titan first began. It was just shocking to see something like this, and to see how he was self-reflecting, and how he now knows what he should do as a person to make the entire essence of humanity a lot better. So, to see how he did that, just a lot of maturity going on there, and I like the direction. I really like the direction of Eren's character. I'm really liking that a lot. I mean, a couple chapters back, when Eren was sitting there crying, he's like, eat me, eat me! I was like, fuck you, Eren. I'm sorry, that's how I was thinking. I'm sorry, I have to say that. I had to say that a couple chapters ago. But this chapter, I'm just so happy to see Eren growing up and learning to know what he needs to do. Like, when he acknowledged his Titan power, when he finally said something in his mind, like, he's like, when I first got this Titan power, I thought it was kind of for myself, where I can get my own things and stuff like that. He eventually came to terms that this power is not just for him, it's for everybody. And to see that, it just, like I said, that the self-reflecting and character development of Eren is beautiful. It's just so beautiful. It definitely makes this chapter solid. Just that alone, you could just have that alone give me like 8 pages of Eren Yeager just developing and self-reflecting in this chapter, and I would have said solid chapter. That's it. So let's move into the next points. The next points I want to talk about is seeing how Rod Reese is Titan. We get to actually see how tall it is. And when we first saw the Colossal Titan, we always saw its head stick up over the wall, and it put its hand on top of the wall. We remember seeing that when the anime first began. Well, in this chapter, Rod Reese stands up, and oh god, the size of that Titan is enormous. It is so enormous. Like, it's probably the wall was going up to the waist of Rod Reese. And that right there, yo, if that thing was crazy or had a smart person controlling it, oh shit, that would have been, oh my. I mean, Historia was going to get that Titan. I mean, imagine how Historia would have looked in that Titan mode. I just, imagine that. Like, that thing, Rod Reese looks like a giant-ass chicken. He does. I said that in the last chapter review. He looks like a giant-ass chicken. I wonder what Historia would look like if she got in that Titan form. But the point of it is like, Rod Reese, his entire incompetence of not being able to control the Titan, or, you know, just kind of being stupid as a Titan. Like, I mean, the Titan was just dragging its face all across the ground. Like, I mean, it ruined its entire body. Like, you saw its entire chest opened up, you saw how its face was gone, and that led into the inevitable defeat of what happened to Rod Reese in this chapter. Historia kills her own father, and that right there, it just shows you the maturity and the development also Historia has gotten as a character. Now, some could say that either A, Historia is a boring character, or B, you absolutely love Historia. Or you could be in between and say, I just don't give a shit. You could be one of those three. But, personally, I have respected Historia a lot more in these past couple chapters. Just seeing how she acted in this chapter, and how she takes the mantle and says, I am the new queen, and I'm going to be fighting on the battlefield with my fellow humans, my fellow people that I'm ruling over. Just seeing how she was doing that made me gain so much more respect for her. And I feel like that's what made this chapter just so amazing, in my opinion. So yeah, tell me your thoughts. I mean, how do you feel about all that happened in this chapter? How do you feel about the development on all our characters? Let me know in the comments below. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.